There we are. Here we are. Happy Tuesday. Lisa and I are so excited to be here with you today for another episode of All Things Health, Healing, and Beyond. Lisa is in sunny Florida. I'm in sunny South Carolina. And today we are really excited to speak with you about two things. So, keeping our peace in tumultuous times, as well as what to do with that little thing called fear that seems to be on the rise again out there. So, when it comes to maintaining our peace, I think about a tree. That's the image that comes to mind. And how does a tree stand up tall? It's got those roots, right? And that's what it's like when you're in your power. You've got roots, you've got connection, you've got that knowingness that you're able to stay centered and stay grounded. And what all of this fear is doing, I see it causing a lot of people to begin to second guess themselves as they start to sway. They start to sway because they're not being reminded of those roots. And it helps where I'm surrounded by people that know their roots and that have that strong centeredness. So when we start to find ourselves starting to get swayed a little bit, we've got that community of people with those really clear values that have that strong root to them that come from power. And what do we mean by power? Those higher level emotions, that connection to source that begins with courage, acceptance, willingness, love, on up, joy, bliss, all these higher level emotions. And it begins with courage. And we're really seeing that split with people that are being courageous and doing what they believe is right for them, speaking their truth, or the opposite, when people get pulled into those lower level emotions. So under 200 is 190, which is pride. Pride comes before a fall because it's the fall into the lower level emotions. So pride, and then there's anger, blame, guilt, shame. And we see a lot of this fear going on and this blaming and this shaming. And it's like, who does that serve? Does it serve you, your highest good? Does it serve your God? No, not at all. Not at all. Fear serves none of those things. It serves somebody else, not me. But remembering that I have a choice and where I'm putting my attention is one way to begin to remember and reclaim that power. Remembering that I'm in this world, but not necessarily of it, allows me to keep my roots strong because I believe in more things than just what I see. I have a faith, I have a knowingness, and that's untouchable by all these external things. Because from the beginning, over a year ago, of what we've seen really divide and cause all this fear in people is I had this gut knowing that, like, something's not right. Something's not right from the very beginning of this whole thing. Something's not right. So I knew to not let those fears in, but also to like do some research, because what was being presented to me at face value, based on my spidey senses, my internal GPS, it was like, no, I don't need to give that any more time or attention right now because I know. And then later, looking at things from that neutral place, so I'm not feeding fears or getting sucked any which way. It's a really different energy through which to like analyze, but also be able to interpret and discern. But what makes all that possible is having that centeredness in those roots. So that's kind of how I stay a little bit more like this, I guess, in these times. So Lisa, how do you do it?
That was a great analogy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I do it multiple ways. So let me just start that today I went on an amazing 10-mile bike ride, and it was so beautiful. And we have these energies. I know I keep talking about this over and over about this lion gate energy. And they're very powerful energies. And whether you feel them or don't feel them, they're still working within your life. And so I went on this amazing bike ride, and there was no fear. I was centered because I was focused on the weather. I was focused on the sky. And remember, everybody, look up. We forget to look up. There's miraculous things going on, right? So there was no fear. I mean, I haven't had fear through this whole thing, right? Maybe some concern in the beginning last year, but really no fear. And that was a choice, and that was work, and that was a knowing that you came. So there was no sway. But being on this bike ride, I was so centered, and I was getting amazing messages. And one of the things that I know that keeps me knowing that there's bigger things going on besides this jargon that's out there, which really is like a movie, which really is a story plot, which really is all planned. I made a post yesterday on, there's a picture of two Earths on there. And one of the things, you know, on my list of things to get rid of for this 3D world was listening to MSN, listening, even alternative media. There's a lot of disinformation out there. Even people who are humanitarian, there's a lot of disinformation out there. There's a lot of disinformation just coming in from all sources, right? So to let go of the fear is to focus on what makes us happy, what brings us joy, what we can do to let go of our self-will and turn over any fears, any unorganized thoughts, my New York accent, your thoughts, to a higher source, oh my God, to a higher source, like we talked about last week or the week before, is there's something greater than ourselves that is happening, okay? There is a lot of this fear that's controlling people. Somebody sent me a post today, all right, of a picture. Actually, it wasn't a post. It was in the news that came up on an email that said, when I wrote it down, something that if you don't get the shot here, your paycheck may shrink, okay? So when the average person who is into watching the news and looking around and in that fear base, they're looking at that like, oh my gosh, I better get it because I'm going to lose my money. And, you know, that's very lower vibrational thinking because you're in fear, your lack of confidence, you're in your self-doubt of that you can't provide your own source of income without relying on somebody else doing it for you. And these paychecks that people have are so little dinky paychecks. You know, there's no money left at the end of the month with these little paychecks. And we're so focused on that. And the key word is may. They may, you know, but people look at that fear and it's like, they may, oh my gosh, I better go do this. Okay. And this I'm talking about is this little thing here. If you're looking at me, right? I just don't want to say anything. I'm already getting shadow banned. So, and I just don't know why, because I really calmed my posts down from what they used to be. Okay. So the fear comes from all of that, of the fear of the unknown, of our self-esteem and self-worth being taken away from us from the time we were younger, with all these conditions, behaviors, with all the things that happened with us growing up, with all the things that our parents knew, generations knew, the feelings that we had, the input we got from our teachers, all that just lowered. And, you know, thank you. I watched the Truman Show, right? And that movie is just a tell. It's a tell on really what's going on right now, right? So there's been fear and manipulation our whole lives for generations, for 25,000 plus years, right? And now is the time that, you know, we are moving into higher states of consciousness and we are ascending. And you can see that we have two very clear timelines happening within the same planet, the same Earth, right? There's two agendas that are happening at the same time, right? And what, you know, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and like last year, and even like in the beginning of this year, it's like, I don't understand. How can people still, they know all this information, they see all this. Why are they doing this when they know what can happen and they're still doing it? Like, I don't understand. And we would just say, and it gets frustrating. You don't understand and why they do this and why, you know, they said they know, but then they'll go and do it anyway. And It just didn't make sense. Like, it's so bizarre. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So the conclusion that I got, right, and take it for what it is that we have come into this world, right? And there is a great awakening that has been planned, right? We are actually living the future of the past that already happened, right? And some of us we've done this journey already, right? We woke up, we know there is no fear because we've been here, done that, right? We've done our shadow work for years and years. You know, I believed also, I didn't get to what that first point was, that as we're growing up, if we had the school of hard knocks, things didn't go right, low self-esteem, addictions, you know, abuse, whatever it was, we needed to go through that shit in order to be where we are now, right? So we can say, you know, I'm done, let's wake up, right? Because there's certain people that needed a point in time, which is now, to wake up, to assist everybody else with the waking up to an extent at this point, and moving forward to help people once the shift happens, right? And there are people who, you know, felt like they never fit in, and there's always something bigger and greater, and you don't know what it is, and I'm just, you know, just not settled. There could be, you know, kids that are diagnosed with ADD and da-da-da, and, you know, daydreaming. That's all of our higher consciousness. That's the kids' higher consciousness. And what does a medical association want to do? They want to suppress it with Adderall and whatever these drugs are to suppress it, to suppress the emotion. And that's just all the pineal and everything opening up to higher states of consciousness, but with big pharma and everything, they just want to suppress us this whole time. So getting back to what I was saying, I feel like there's certain people who are meant at this time, like, to help shift other people, the people that we say, I don't understand, and it's so bizarre, and how can they do that? And, you know, knowing that that's not even a real whatever, they're just not hearing it because they are here to help the planet ascend, right? If people are passing, which there are deaths from certain things, right? It's because it was their choice. I know a lot of people, this is outside the box for a lot of people listening to this, but this is where we need to be, right? That we're even having this conversation is just something, you know, out of this world, like a movie. But they are meant to be here to help the planet wake up to a shift, because we have to be at a higher state of confidence to help Gaia move and continue our ascension through the photon belt as we enter through the stargates, right? Some will be, some will know, some will have a wanting to stay here, not consciously, right? So I just wanted to say that. And I know I'm jibber jabbering. I want to get back to my bike ride because I think this was so cool. So being centered in nature, focused, there is no fear because your focus is on attention. I was enjoying the day. I was enjoying the weather. I was enjoying this. So many iguanas, right, in Florida now. And I had a knee pain, right? I had some random knee pain. So I said, let me heal my knee pain. So with all these energies, and from all those of you who have been following me, you see that my light language has come through and my healing abilities has come through, and so has Alicia's, right? And a lot of people, if you just open to know and feel, you will see your gifts that are online now. It's trusting yourself, trusting what you're hearing, and feeling it. So for a minute, I tuned in to my knee, right? And I healed it, right? Within a minute and a half, it was about a minute and a half, I had no more pain in my knee. And I had this amazing crystalline energy come in with the whole, and it was gone. It was totally gone. So that was great affirmation and validation for me because, you know, when we do our own stuff, sometimes it's a little bit challenging to focus in our own intuition. It's easier for us sometimes to work on other people, right? So I was able to do that. So yes. So with, you know, like what you were saying with the fear and as a tree and not waving, yes, is to have the roots and have the stability and, you know, go ahead and talk about, you know, the steps that you would take to find that peace and have that stability. Because right now, the split has occurred in the earth. The boiling point has happened. The tipping point has happened. And we know it's letting go of us wanting to fix, change, you know, persuade people to have this point of view. it is the way it is going, and we can do our best to honor them, compassion, have empathy, but to let go. Right. And for a lot of people, they're having challenges, and, talk about this, how to let go of it, how to find that inner peace, to let people just be who they are.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of practicing that very thing this last year, with just letting people be who they are and do what feels good for them, whether I agree with it or not. But I've gotten a lot better at being the change I want to see in the world versus projecting or getting upset about this person or that person, or getting in the ring with anybody, attempting to make anybody wrong, getting seduced into those lower level emotions, just not practicing that. And my piece is worth too much to me to do that. And realizing that what that person's experiencing, they're doing what they believe is right for them. Okay, great, respect. Because in their mind, they're right, just like I'm right. We can both be right, but that doesn't mean that I need to ascribe to their beliefs. I let them believe what they choose to believe, and that's amazing. And the beautiful thing about being free, you can believe what you want to believe, and I can believe what I want to believe, and there's a room for both of those things. But when it comes to force and blaming and coercion, no. Easy opt out. It's a chance to draw a boundary and step back and do what you want to do, where it can be a way to, it's a call to look at something if that's happening, if you're getting pulled into those energy dynamics. But it can also help reflect you where you are, because I've personally not had direct conversation like that, because I've done that work and I have that awareness and that understanding of the energy dynamics, where I don't let myself get pulled into situations. So it's an opportunity to strengthen that discernment, strengthen boundaries, stand in your truth, and let other people be. Focus on what you can control, and that's your own inner state. And for me, I've been starving this thing, this global thing that's supposed to be such a big deal, starving it of my attention. And you know what? Like, I forget it's happening a lot of the time because I don't feed it. In my world, it's not a thing.
Right.
In the larger part of my world, it's not even a thing. And that's how I've consciously created my world, my little pocket reality. We have that power. And the more people that have their energy and attention in it, that's why it's gone on for so long, because it's this loud screaming, look at me, look at me, look at me. Where my truth and knowing the whole time has just been like this. And I feel better in that energy, where it's like, I don't feel like the need to participate in this other energy, this other game. It's like, okay, if somebody's trying to give you a gift, I'm like, Lisa, here, take this water bottle, and you don't accept it. Who does this belong to? Me, not you. The world out here. Believe this, do this, get this, and we'll give you a donut. Here. If you don't take this, who is this? It's mine. But people don't know that. They don't know that, like, no, that's it. That's it. Period. It's simple, but the ego wants to overcomplicate it. And all the loud noise, the marketing, the media, the talking box, they want to make you believe something else, but just don't listen. Tune it out and tune in to yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you're putting your energy into. Don't feed the fears. Don't feel obligated to have a TV on or be on social media. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's really that easy. Just starve your attention. And there'll be people, oh my gosh, how irresponsible. How could you live in the world not knowing what's going on? Like, I used to want to be a journalist. I used to read the news a lot growing up. Did it help me? Nope. Not one iota. It would have been more relevant for me to know what's going on in my neighborhood, in my community, in my state, in my city. That would have been a whole heck of a lot more relevant than what may or may not be happening somewhere.
Yeah.
Based off of Operation Mockingbird. But that's a whole other story for another day. But
there's so much. I mean, that that was great. Yeah, and it's, you know, and you said, you said it. It's like, you know, I was thinking, you know, during this time, and I'm sure it's like, how did we get to a place where we don't have fear? And besides of what I said about the condition, the unconditional, like maybe past galactic, whatever it is, it was not looking at the attention. Like for me last year, putting your attention on it. Last year, I redid my backyard. I made a butterfly garden. My attention was on that. It was the butterflies. It was growing my moringa tree. It was all of this love, looking at the clouds, looking at what I might see, and letting go of the negativity, right? And honoring that if I did look at something, I felt like a little anxiety in my gut. So I had to know, no, this is not for you, right? And to honoring what I was feeling. And the more I stayed in happiness, joy, and passion, right? What I needed to know came to me, just like you. What we need to know will show up, right? And when we become more centers, the synchronicities happen. The people, places, and situations show up for our highest good, right? And you all out there may also see people disappearing from your life, like where'd they go? And I don't hear from them. And, you know, and there's really, it doesn't matter. That's okay. Don't feel guilty about that, right? Because that's what's happening. There's frequency changes happening. It's like tuning a radio, right? There's different frequencies and they may not be on that frequency with you, but new people show up, situations and things show up, right? It's not that they're gone, but don't feel guilty. And, you know, just stay with the peace within and let people, like you said, be, because I know a lot of you are having family members that have totally opposite views than you do. And it's hard, you know, it's hard to stay that way. And there's a lot of times when now you may not be able to be making a decision. It's like, why can't I decide what to do? You know why? Because we're getting bombarded by so much stuff all the time, right? That it, and especially if we're empathic, we feel it and we have to, you know, say, it's okay. I don't have to make a decision right now. Oh, and when I was riding my bike, I did get a message to say that said, do not make any commitments or have any changes for the month of August. No, don't make any different commitments and don't change anything that you're doing for the month of August. And then there's a guide, I'll say, that I channel. And the same message I get all the time is hang tight, hang tight. That's the message I get all the time from this guide. So, okay, so that was awesome. So yeah, so find your peace, find your bliss. Alicia and I are absolutely here to assist you to move with these energies, to feel a release, to feel happiness, to feel that you can be in your own bubble. And my 3 kids are in that space, right? And they're out in the world and they have friends and they whatever, but you know what? They're not affected either. But so why is that, right? So if you want more information on that, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll gladly help you with anything you want. So, okay, so it's 23 after. So I'll do a quick light language for everybody. Okay, quick light language channeling. This is from higher source. It feels very exciting what's coming through. So okay, so it's 23 oh my gosh, I'm just laughing at them. Oh my God, this is so funny because they came in very playful and just like telling me to tell everybody, just chillax, just relax, right? Everything is going according to the way it should. And find your happy, just find your happy because it's there. And the more we connect with our happiness, joy, and fun, the rest of this stuff is just going to seem amusing, right? And continue looking at it like a movie with these storylines that they want to create, you know, which may or may not be true. Most of what you're seeing out here is not true. It's just put there for whatever agenda they have. But to find that, and they're laughing because it's so close. We are so close. We have made it. We have made it. It's just getting through these little teeny things. Yay! Before we get this thing like hit, like good. So yeah, it's very exciting time. So find your love, find your peace.
Find your dance party.
All right. All right, everybody. All right. So everybody have an awesome week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody.